Hello darlings, it's Erica over at Melanated and Well Educated, and today I am here to share our brand spanking new homeschool curriculum with you guys. So let's pop right in. Y'all didn't know I had that in me, did you? Y'all wasn't ready? We're gonna go subject by subject. First up, for Mr. Aiden. Mr. Aiden is actually going to be working more on 6th grade this year. If you've been following us for a while, then you know that he just wrapped up grade 4, but it was time for a little bump. It's actually been time. To be honest, we could have bumped him on up a little bit more, and we still will have those discussions, but for now, we're all good. And when I say we, I mean I'm good, Dad's good, and Aiden's good with 6th grade. So he's 8, heading into 6th grade. Okay, a couple of disclaimers, okay? It is windy outside. So if you hear a lot of whoosh, 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 that's what it is. You're also probably gonna hear a lot of cars driving, okay? Because for whatever reason, when it's time for me to film, that's what happens. The cars just start ripping and running, as my Grammy would say, up and down the road. Also note that I talk really fast, and I am working on that. So I will try my best to slow it down. This is not going to be one of those little fancy fade in and out videos and things like that. Girl, we're gonna stand here, we're gonna talk about this curriculum, and we're gonna go on with our lives, okay? All right, curriculum links will be available in the video description box, okay? All of the links that I can provide. To be honest with you, some things I've had for some time now, so it's difficult to find links for older books and things like that that are out of print. Okay, now that I think that I have made all of the church announcements, okay girl, that's it, that's it. Amen Corner Missionary, is that it? Missionary Destiny?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so we're gonna move on, all right? Hopefully our lighting doesn't get tricky, okay? Hey, glory, come on Jesus with the lighting. So I'm gonna pick these things up old school, okay? You guys remember when we first got on YouTube doing all this little homeschool stuff years ago, and it was, oh, this is how we do it. You know what I'm saying? You show the book and you go on about your business. That's what we're doing today, okay? Because I know if I start talking, girl, I ain't gonna stop. All right. So science, grade 6 for Mr. Aiden. You might find some of the same people in some of these, but you won't find all of the people in one of these, okay? All right, you picking up what I'm putting down, girl? Okay. So all of the things that I just shared, those are our add-ons, okay? Now, do I use every single add-on from cover to cover? Absolutely not. But I like to have things that I can kind of pull from, especially when we have those days when we need a bit more on a particular subject, or like Aiden's really chatty and he really wants to, you know, dig a little bit deeper, things like that. So I want to make sure that I have those things on hand. So all of those things will be used, okay? But not from cover to cover. Now, this is our foundation for his 6th grade science this year. Now there's also a level D that goes with this little green set. They're kind of color coded when you start moving into the science fusion for the middle grades, but I am holding off on that one until next year, and that way we can have kind of like 3 like core books for each year for grade 6, 7, and 8. But I'll see how it goes. If he speeds through this, then I'll go ahead and pull the level D out. And for Miss Kennedy, who is 12 heading into 10th grade this year, we have, this one's a little bit glossy, so I'll hold this one up for you. This is Modern Chemistry. And of course, Miss K, being Miss K, she looks at me and says, you know, Mom, I would really like to do microbiology this year as well. So, hey, have no fear. Super homeschool mama is here, okay? This one's a bit glossy as well, so I'll hold it up for you guys. Just ignore anything that you can see in the reflection, okay? Our homeschool table is a hot mess right now. And we also picked up flashcards. And for Miss Destiny, who is now 17 and a senior. Girl, I know, I wasn't ready either, okay? She's going to be working on anatomy and physiology. This does have a workbook that goes along with it, and we might pick it up. Haven't decided yet. Let me backpedal just a little bit, okay? Y'all haven't heard that word in some time, huh? Miss Kennedy plans to be a research scientist, right? In chemistry or microbiology. So that's what she's concentrating on. Pretty heavy with the science courses. Miss Destiny wants to be a civil rights attorney. So that's what she's going to focus heavy on. That side of the house, the law side of the house. We're also checking the block for her sciences, but she's not piling them on as much as Miss K is, okay? Because that's Miss K's thing, all right? Okay, and I should also let you guys know that we are in the process because lab purchases around here are serious business. And if I waited until everyone was satisfied as far as labs go, now Mr. Aiden is pretty much going to be using the STEM lab workbooks that I shared earlier. He might decide to add some things. I don't know yet. They've already, you know, cleared their little purchase order with our homeschool principal, okay, girl? So I'm just gonna let them have at it. But whatever they choose, then I'll come back and share with you guys. But they're still working on that. I think Miss Kennedy has like 4 or 5 things in the cart right now, and then Miss D is going to pick some things out. Basic dissections, things like that for anatomy and physiology, I know for sure. Miss Kennedy is focusing a lot on all kinds of growing things, you know, cultures and all that stuff, and just, you know, all things that, oh goodness, I'm sorry, microbiology. You know, microbiology can get a little stinky at times, you know what I'm saying? Once you start growing these different cultures and things like that, you can get a little bit yucky. But anyway, so she's focusing on that. But again, when all of that is finalized, because all of our high school sciences are with labs, okay? That's very important, and you want that on your transcript. You want your child to take those science courses with lab components, all right? And we also do it with Aiden as well, because, I mean, it's fun. So once he gets to high school, you know, it'll be just, you know, another drop in the bucket for him, because that's what he's used to, okay? All right then, girl. Moving on into math. For Mr. Aiden, for a little bit of consumer math, personal finance, we're going to be using a little bit of logic, okay? Because logic is fun and we need logic, all right? I always work in daily word problems. We use them as time fillers, bell ringers. You guys know that Aiden loves to ring the homeschool bell. So this is what we have on board this year for word problems. So I was telling you guys earlier about the big switch, right? Bumping him from 4th grade right into 6th grade. So we already had on hand Saxon 7-6, because if you've been following along, then you know that he just completed 6-5. I always have to stop and think about how Saxon lays their numbers out, right, for grade levels. But anyway, so we have 7-6 on hand. You guys can see that. So this is the student textbook. And then we have the solutions manual, and then test and worksheets. Now, if for some reason he gets into this, as I suspect he will, and he's like, hey mom, this is a lot of review, because Saxon is about 75% review of the previous year and about 25% new material. So if he gets into that and he's like, I don't know, then we're gonna bump on through, right? We're gonna get on to the back where we see that 25% new. All right, girl, if it's in the back, we're gonna find it. If it's in the middle, we're gonna find it, okay? But you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get on to the new, okay? And then I will go ahead and start him, once we finish that, with Saxon 8-7. So this is the textbook, pretty thick book. And then we have the solutions manual. And I have in my cart right now the actual test and worksheets, because I could not find it. This is left over from when Mr. Nathan, our homeschool graduate, when he was hanging out with us in the homeschool room doing Saxon. So I still have that on hand. And I think Miss Kennedy probably used this as well. So that's what we have right now going on in math land. Okay, all right. Miss Kennedy, 10th grade, teaching textbooks, Algebra 2. Okay, round of applause. Also for Miss Destiny, 12th grade, teaching textbooks, pre-cal. And we actually do those on their iPads. So it's really easy for us if we're schooling on the go, you know, we can just take it along with us and they can do all of their stuff right there within that interface. There's also a little scratch pad included. Now, up until now that I'm aware of, you cannot print out the scratch paper, which was kind of like a little bummer for me. But we just kind of print everything out and we keep our lessons. And I know you guys are gonna be like, girl, let's talk about them binders. I'm gonna show you a binder, but we're not gonna talk about the binders today, okay? Now this is one of 3 of Aiden's 4th grade year, okay? But anyways, so we take these, and with them using the Teaching Textbooks app, we take the worksheets and we print them out and we put them in the binders so that it's easy for them to go back and flip through, you know, like if they need to look back or whatever. I kind of pull that math out now for them from our 180-day binders, right? Which is what I just shared, right? But we're not gonna talk about those right now, okay? Because then that'll be a whole other conversation. I just needed a visual aid. But at the end of the year, they will still have their 180 days of math or 120 days of math, how many ever lessons they have. It'll be, you know, nice and neat in a binder. And then I will just label that math for that year, right? And then we move on. It was a little bit tricky trying to navigate the spiral workbooks that come along with teaching textbooks. Well, actually, they don't come along with it. You actually purchase. So you can have like a hard copy. It's much easier for me to print out a hard copy straight from the teaching textbooks interface. Okay? All right. Now, I hope that that will be of some help to someone. But again, we're not going to talk about binders today, but we can talk about them later, okay? Don't think that I just threw that out there at you, okay? Because I know that a lot of you guys are new here and you might not be familiar with our 180-day binder system, okay? So I'm coming back with that later, okay? I promise. All right. Okay, now let's get something out there in the open, okay, girlfriend? Because I used to get hit so hard for this and I was trying to figure out why. I still don't know why people care about my kiddos using calculators, right, during math time, because we actually have a little section of calculator math pretty much daily, especially in the elementary grades as well as the middle school, depending on, you know, what level of math they're working on, because I want them to be familiar, right, with how to operate calculators, because guess what? When we get to high school, then you're gonna need those TIs, right? The TI 84s and this, that, and the other in order to do more advanced math. So I start them young. We also use calculators in the lower grades to help us solidify math facts, all kinds of cool things that you can do with calculators, right? And even if we're introducing like a concept, and I say we because sometimes Dad will step into the homeschool room too and help teach, but if I'm introducing a concept or he is introducing a concept to one of our older kiddos, and one of the younger kiddos wants to get in on it, then we look at our homeschool environment as like this sponge type environment, right? If you want to soak it up, honey, then soak it up. If one of my kiddos is working on something and I see that they're paying attention, then I don't say, oh, honey, you can't do this right now, okay? You have to wait until it's your turn. No, ma'am. We're going to go ahead and feed those interests, okay? So anyways, calculators. We get a lot of questions about calculators. We have several. Mr. Aiden, his little baby calculator, that's what he calls it. His words, not mine, okay? This is a Texas Instruments TI-30X2, Roman numeral S, okay? And then he also has the TI-34 Multi-View, the Texas Instruments. That's his more big kid calculator. And I'm pretty sure that he's already trying to talk his dad into signing off on a purchase order for a full-blown graphing calculator, which he's probably gonna need sooner than we thought anyways. Miss K has the TI-84 plus CE. And Miss Destiny has the TI-84 plus CE as well. And I apologize for that bit of glare there. It's kind of hard to, you know, shove things right up into the camera when you're working with another screen. So it's a little bit difficult to see. Probably the hottest calculator that we have right now, okay? Girl, this one gets a lot of attention. This is the See and Solve fraction calculator. And when I say that it gets a lot of attention, whenever we're working on something, and I shoot like a shot or whatever and I post it in my IG stories, then a lot of people want to know what it is and where can they find one. So I will definitely have this linked for you guys in the video description box. I'm pretty sure that it is already in my Amazon storefront anyways, but I'll make sure that it's there for you guys. Again, this is the See and Solve fraction calculator. And I will try to show you guys up close, maybe if I put my hand here. Let's not talk about my nails, okay, girl? Because I just did not have the time, all right, to sit down and polish these nails and still film this video for you guys, okay? But honey, do y'all see Felicia out here, Felicia in? Okay, Felicia, I said, okay, Felicia, come on through, Felicia. You better hang to the side. Yep, y'all weren't ready. If I didn't say it earlier, girl, just ignore these Louis Vuitton mom bags, okay? We're gonna let that ride, all right? Mama is tired. I'm always tired. I'm still tired, girl, from the last time I talked to you. But I've been busy, okay? Anyway, so we ain't gonna talk about these nails now. But I'm gonna try to get you guys a close-up shot so you can see if it will focus enough. Again, I'm not wearing my glasses, so if you can't see it, then I couldn't see it, because I couldn't see it to begin with, okay? Oh goodness, y'all pray my strength in the Lord. But again, numerator, denominator, we go from fractions to decimals to percents with this one. All kinds of stuff. Improper fractions, mixed numbers, we can simplify, all of that right here in one. So this one gets a lot of use in our homeschool room and it creates the most buzz. And if you have a little one, I just pulled this one off the shelf. Actually, Miss Destiny handed it to me. But if you have a little one who just wants to, you know, have a calculator, this is one of the sweetest ones that we found yet. It has the little kickstand on the back, just like the fraction calculator does. It has one as well. And so it's really, you know, little hand friendly, tiny human hand friendly. So they can put their little hands here if they want, or they can place it on a tabletop or their desk and, you know, get familiar with their numbers and learn what decimals are and learn how to enter decimals, you know, into their calculator and things like that. So a lot of math facts practice, all kinds of things went down with this baby right here, okay? Our, I guess, first baby calculator, and then he moved into this baby calculator, okay? Whew, girl, I done about talked my lip gloss off. Moving right on into Miss Destiny's 12th grade critical whiteness studies, we have Y'all weren't ready, huh? It's time to take that thing to church. It's time for religious studies, all right? So Mr. Aiden is going to be using and he's also going to be using because we love a good storybook, right? To go along with what we're talking about. The girls, Miss Kennedy and Miss Destiny, both have this Bible. And Miss Destiny is also going to be looking at and of course, this is by one of her favorite authors, Henry Louis Gates Jr. Let the church say amen and amen again. I'll be right back with some more stuff. All right, next I have our handwriting for Mr. Aiden. First up, we have I was flipping through some things as I was finalizing our curriculum choices for this school year, and Mr. Aiden saw this cover and he was like, ooh, mommy, I want that. I need that. So I went ahead and grabbed it for him, which is perfect because I was going to print out a gazillion lined handwriting pages. So we're going to take this handy dandy handwriting workbook, again, just the lined pages, right? And we're going to fill it with okay, foreign languages. This year, Mr. Aiden is going to be continuing with German, and he's still utilizing the Duolingo app for that, but he saw this and he wanted it, so we went ahead and grabbed it. And I believe that this does have audio files to go along with it as well, but this is more of just a reinforcement so that he gets that pencil to paper. Last year he used the Cool Kids Speak series of workbooks and he did really well with that. In addition to German, Mr. Aiden will also be utilizing the Duolingo app to look at, girl, if I'm being honest, every single language on there, okay? Because he is a linguist, okay? That is his new thing. All jokes aside though, he's looking at Haitian Creole, and we've been kind of looking around at some workbooks for that as well. We just haven't decided on any. And then he's going to be looking at Swahili. Miss Kennedy is still focusing on Japanese, so she's going to be using. She's also going to be using. Listen, girl, there is lunch being prepared in the other room, so I might have to step out of here for a minute. But before I go, your girl is hungry, okay? I am hangry. That salad has my name all over it. But before I go, Miss Destiny, okay, can I squeeze hers in here? She's going to be utilizing Duolingo and focusing on Swahili. So, German, Swahili, a little Haitian Creole, and a whole bunch of other stuff for our little linguist, Aiden. Japanese for Miss Kennedy, and Swahili for Miss Destiny. Woo child, that salad was good. Do you hear me? Good, okay? Good. All right, let's move on to history. Now, y'all know me. And you know that history is like a big deal, like gentle truth history, especially in the earlier grades. That's just my term for age appropriate, I can take this to a good place history, okay? Gentle truth. So with that being said, Aiden is not only a linguist, okay? A self-proclaimed linguist. He's also a tiny human historian. Okay, now I'm not playing about that. Like, that is his thing. So I allowed him to choose, pull whatever he wanted from our shelves as far as history goes this year. And it was a lot for me to give up that control. But that didn't sound right. Not control as in just control, like I have to be in control. Just because I always have in my mind that when I'm thinking about history, that I need to be chronological about everything. Well, guess what? That's not who Aiden is, okay? He likes a bit of this and a bit of that, honey, and we toss it all on a plate together. He makes him a little salad. He can, you know, take it all in, chew it up, and spit it back out, okay? Like, this kid is good when it comes to history. So, he could probably still school me on a few things, okay? He is that good. So I gave him, you know, the leadway that he asked for. All right, so first up, the one thing that he was interested in, I'll show you guys really quick. So this one has some things that might not be age appropriate for him. So of course we're going to go through this together, and it's just some of the when you start to get into like the arts and things, so some of the movies and things like that, when they give a breakdown of the movies, so it's like I don't know if, you know, we want to step off into that just yet. But the majority of this is solid. Again, he is very well versed in history. If your kiddo is not, then you might want to start with something a little bit more plain Jane. Again, he likes to hop around when it comes to history. So if your kiddo is one of those chronological thinkers, then, you know, this might not be a good resource for you guys, but it is for us. Okay? All right. Moving on. He also grabbed and to top it all off, we also have, now with all of that being said, okay, I know that you guys know that there's a whole lot of stuff on our shelves, right? And if you need a little bit more, I'll link a video in the description box for you guys that you can check out. It has a lot of history goodness in it, okay? In case you didn't see everything that you needed to see in this curriculum video, you guys already know how we get down at this point, right? So I am going to be pulling from our learning shelves quite a bit and mixing some things in. So again, if you want to see some of the things that I will be pulling in, you can check out that other video. For Miss Kennedy's 10th grade U.S. History 1, she's going with, and we're also tossing this into the mix. For Miss Destiny's 12th grade government course, we're going to be looking at, and of course, we're going to be tossing this in as well. Little history there. For Mr. Aiden's health course, we're going to be using. For civics for Mr. Aiden, we have quite a few resources that we're going to make our way through. First, we have can y'all hear the wind blowing? It is loud. Miss Destiny is over here like. For Miss Kennedy's civics, we have. I'll just go ahead and toss that disclaimer out there. You know, when it comes to history, when it comes to civics, all those things, you know, kind of clumped under social studies. If we're working through it and we run up on something, you know what I'm saying? We'd be like, scared. Ooh, that ain't it. That ain't how it happened. That just ain't right. Then we stop right there, you know, for a minute. We research that thing, you know what I'm saying? And we correct it and we keep it moving, okay? One of my favorite new things that we're doing is like a little melanated magic. So it's just all things melanated learning. All right, girl. So first up, for Mr. Aiden, we have the Crunchy Life series, and this is 1 through 7. So I won't show every single title, but again, all of the things will be linked for you in the video description box. or most of the things, right? But I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to find those, hopefully. I say that now and then, it's like, I can't find them. But anyways, those go along with, this is actually the teacher's manual. I'm trying to hold too many things at one time. This is the teacher's manual for modules 1 and 2. And then I have module 1 and module 2. So we'll move through those as we see fit. Some things we might have already covered, and that's okay. Just a little bit of reinforcement, right? We can revisit it. If something is new, then, you know, hey, hello, let's learn that too, okay? All right. So we're super excited to have this on board for Mr. Aiden. And then we also have for debate, because our kiddos like to debate. They like to debate all topics. We have, with this one, we're just going to debate the author's point of view. If we agree, let's talk about why we agree. If we disagree, let's talk about why we disagree. Let's research so we can back that thing up with some facts, okay? All right. We're also going to be making our way through. We also have, so once again, age appropriateness, right? If everyone can handle it, then everyone's in on it. If it's a little bit much, right, then we'll break our class up a little bit and we'll move around accordingly, okay, with different subject areas. We also have, and this has writing prompts included as well. So really good talking points, right, discussion type writing prompts that we can do individually and then come together as a whole and discuss. And then, because there's so much conversation, our kids naturally have questions. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see if we can answer them for you, okay? So we have, as well as long as it's age appropriate and we can take it to a good place, we're chatting about it, okay? All right then. For music, specifically for Mr. Aiden, but you know, if we have a little bit of music going on in the background, everyone's gonna wanna get in on it. So we also have, okay girl, for culinary, okay? Because we're gonna get in that kitchen and we're gonna throw some things down, do you hear me? We're gonna have some pots rattling, okay? And some pans jangling, okay? So we have, and now if you're over there like, Erica girl, can't you just take them in the kitchen and cook? Yes, I can. But I really want them to focus more on recipes as well, like following recipes, because the way I was taught how to cook, when Grammy taught me, girl, it was a dash of this and a taint of that, okay? So when I'm seasoning things and the kids are like, well, how much do I need to put in there? It's like, a taint or a dash or a little. But anyways, so just different ways to incorporate some good eating, okay, into our home learning days. For art, we recently looked at Jacob Lawrence, and Aiden was really intrigued. So we're going to be looking at, we're gonna go really slow with this, okay? Maybe once a week or so. For Miss Kennedy's Public Speaking 2 course this year, we're going to be working our way through selected speeches. Ida B. Wells, Ella Baker, Coretta Scott King, just to name a few. Okay, for Mr. Aiden's 6th grade geography. He's a history lover. That means that he's also a, can you guess? Geography lover. The kid knows his stuff like the back of his hand, okay? That's what my grandma would say when I was growing up. Girl, I know it like the back of my hand. Like, he is serious about geography. So anyways, this is pretty much just to humor me, I guess. But I'm pretty sure that he's gonna find something that he didn't know, okay? So that's what we're hoping for. So here's what he's using for geography this year. We have the student book for this one, just so I don't have to make so many copies. And as well as, and this is probably gonna be really high on his favorites list for this year, because little man loves a good quiz, okay? Girl, that's his thing, all right? For Mr. Aiden's spelling, we're going to be using, now this is the 1 year intensive. We've used these before at various levels. This is like the one that you would use to kind of just pull it all together, which is something that I like to do during the middle grades, just to make sure that we've kind of dotted every I and crossed every T. And this is the student book. So these are very short lessons. So he'll do this independently, and then we'll move into, and this will be daily lessons as well. For vocabulary, we have, now this one he saw and he asked for it. He said, "Ooh, I like the way that looks." Sometimes it's okay to judge a book by its cover. It's really simple. I'll show you the inside. I know this is not an inside flip through type video, but I'll let you guys see. We also picked up, he loves word search puzzles. And we're going to be using, again, more for humoring me, because his little vocabulary is like, whoo. I'm like, bro, where'd you get that? And he's like, yeah, just picked it up along the way. What way? Like, you're 8, dude, what way? For a little bit of creative writing, tossing in a few writing prompts we have, just to get those creative juices flowing, like first thing in the morning for morning warm-ups. Now moving on into the grammar side of things, we also have, this year we did something that I should have done years ago. We actually purchased the PDF version of Easy Grammar. So he's going to be utilizing Easy Grammar 6 as well as Daily Grams 6. So I can print everything out, hole punch it, put it in a binder, and we're good to go. We just pull from it and add it to our 180-day binder once it's all complete. Man, that is the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. Yeah, girl, I don't know. I was just out there with the books, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just had to have that book in my hand, you know what I'm saying? But then, when I go to make copies, it ain't cute, okay? Because, you know, the Easy Grammar, the Easy Grammar book is like this thick, okay? It might be thicker. So imagine trying to put that on top of the copier and, you know, press down so that you can get a good copy and all this stuff. Well, girl, it ain't for everybody, okay? So yeah, this year we're stepping away from essentials in writing with Mr. Aiden for composition, because he's in the middle grades now, right? So I want to make sure that we have touched on just about everything that's available for us to touch on, okay? So I was looking for something with many lessons in it, like mini writing lessons, and this is what I found. This is the student book and the teacher's guide. I just want to make a quick programming note. I won't be sharing a lot of our independent reading or our required reading in this video, because this video is probably going to be super long as is. And you guys know that our kiddos love to read, right? We pile on the books as much as we can. So that will be in a separate video. But I will share what we have going on, because I want to talk you through really quick. And again, this won't be a whole bunch of transcript talk, because this is our curriculum video, right? But I just want you guys to understand, on our kiddos' high school transcripts, we list their English courses as honors courses. And unless something has changed, right before I started filming this video. In order for your kiddo to get credit for an honors course, you need a grammar component, you need a composition component, and you need a literature component, okay? So I'll share with you how we put those things together. So for our grammar component for Miss Kennedy, 10th grade, for composition, we have with essentials in writing. I want to make it clear that we only utilize the composition portion of this, the writing portion. We don't utilize the grammar portion. When you get up to the higher levels, the grammar portion gets smaller anyways, but we only use the composition portion. That's why we have the easy grammar on board for our grammar portion, okay? And to satisfy the literature requirement, she's going to be reading. So we still work in vocabulary, right? And Aiden actually decided not to do wordly wise this year. He was like, nah, I want to do a word a day. So that's what he's working on. Our kiddos truly do have a love-hate relationship with wordly wise. Some of the meanings and how we use them, they're just like, no, that ain't, the words ain't wording, okay? But anyway, so this is what Miss Kennedy has on board for vocabulary. Okay, carrying on with the love-hate relationship with wordly wise, Miss Destiny is going to be using for 12th grade vocabulary. To satisfy her grammar component of her Honors English 12, she's going to be using. For composition, she will be using. And again, we only use the composition section. And for her literature component, she's going to be reading and for sociology, Miss Kennedy is going to be using. For African American Studies, again, we're talking about 10th grade, Miss Kennedy is going to be reading. Keep in mind, Miss Kennedy is into all things science, okay? So we're rolling those interests up and evenly spreading them out, right? Within different subject areas. For Miss Destiny's cultural perspectives, that's a slash. Conflict theory, we have. Keep in mind that she wants to be a civil rights attorney. And we're really big on practicing for who you want to be. For her Year 3 law class, we have. For women's history, Miss Destiny is going to be reading. For African American Studies, Miss Destiny will be reading. For Miss Destiny's economics course, we have. For physical education, our homeschool principal will be stepping in and providing physical training for our kiddos. They also like to work out with Mr. and Mrs. Muscle in YouTube land. And I say work out because some days, girl, I can't even fool with them. Like it'd be too much, okay? But the workouts be good. They just be too much, yeah. For Destiny's psychology, we have. Yay, we made it. Boop, 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 boop. Hey. Oh. Hey. Girl, I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I'm talked out, all right? Swing by the video description box. I'll have links there for you. If you want to hang out with us more, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you like what you see, hey, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And until next time, be blessed.